So we'll grab our brick and just bring it underneath the pelvis as you lie on the floor. So keep it nice and low. It doesn't need to be high. And flat. Brick should be comfortable for the sacrum, back of the pelvis. So have a fidget with it to make sure it feels comfortable. And then just roll the shoulder blades underneath your body so that you get a little bit more lift around the armpits, the side of the ribs. Planting your feet, so feel all four corners of your feet. Maybe lift the toes, spread across the balls of the feet, and then relax the toes back down. So you feel connected to the ground through the upper body, the back of the skull, so you could just tuck the chin a little and feel a lengthening in the back of the neck. And then start to take your attention to your breath. Just noticing your inhale and the exhale. Notice the quality of your breath. And see if there is any refinement to be made. Can you start to make the inhale even and smooth, matching it with the same length and quality of the exhale? Allowing the body to be heavy and relaxed. Pelvis heavy into the brick. And just take 3 more breaths, tuning into your body, feeling supported and grounded. And then when you're ready, push into the feet to lift your pelvis and just take the brick to the side. And allow the knees to windscreen wiper from side to side. So you can take the feet quite wide, a little bit wider than hip width apart. Keeping the arms, the upper body relaxed and grounded, just rolling from one side of the pelvis to the other. Couple more. Keeping that quality of your breath. And then roll to one side. And come up to sit. And either sit on a folded blanket, or you can pop your bricks underneath your hips. And come and sit in cross-legged, and you'll need your strap in a moment. So feel as if you're really grounded through the sit bones, crossing at the ankles if that's available to you. Otherwise, you could have one leg crossed and the other straight. Or you could have both straight if you want to. And sit tall. So, and again, can you tune into the breath and start to find a smooth and even quality to the breath? And with your next inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, start to twist to the left, bring right hand to left knee, left fingertips to the floor behind. And take another breath here as you exhale, squeeze the belly back, squeeze all the air out of your lungs. And take the twist deeper. And then inhale to refill the lungs with air. Exhale, using your tummy muscles to really draw the body round into your twist, and take a breath here. Inhale, get a little taller. Your exhale, draw the tummy muscles back, squeeze the air out of your lungs all the way, and then take that to the other side. Inhaling, exhaling to twist. Try and stay even and steady on your sit bones. Inhale, when you're ready, twist the other way. So just start to move a little bit more in line with the breath. Take one exhale as you twist. Inhale through the center, lifting up the arms, and then twist to the other side. And your hands can just help draw you through a little deeper. Let's do a couple more, really flow with your breath. Keep the breath full and smooth. And let's do one more to each side. And then bring the arms out to the side when you come back to center, turning the palms up. Let the shoulder blades slide down your back so you feel as if the crown of the head can lift towards the ceiling a little bit more. Turning the palms up as much as they'll go. And then bring the elbow to cross in the center, turn the palms away from each other, and either press the backs of the hands together, or if you've done eagle pose before, you can wrap the hands as well. Good. And let the chin relax down just a little bit, back of the neck long, and offer your elbows away from your body. So a little bit up, a little bit away. So we feel an opening between the shoulder blades. And you might want to take it into a tiny little twist each way and feel as if you're WD-40ing the upper back bones. Keep the breath moving. So it's really easy to hold your breath in this position. Lovely. Come to the center. Squeeze the elbows together, offer them away a tiny little bit more, and breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. And then uncross the arms, lifting up the chest, sit really tall, open up the arms, relax the shoulders away from your ears. Really feel as if you're drawing the shoulder blades to the floor, palms up. Take a breath, and then change the cross of the elbows as you take that to the other side. Eagle arms, Garudasana arms. So you're hugging the arms into the midline, hugging them in towards each other, dropping the chin a little, and then offer the elbows away. And breathe into the upper back. You could try maybe a little bit of a twist. It's not a big twist. You're just moving gently from side to side, yeah. And see if you can keep that sense of relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Good, come back to center, offer the elbows away, and just take another breath between the shoulder blades. And then release and just circle the shoulders. Release some of that tension and then take hold of your strap. So as you scoop the strap into your thumbs, palms down, take the strap a little bit wider than your shoulders, and it might be a lot wider than your shoulders. We want to plug the arm bones in so you feel as if you're sucking the arms into the shoulders, and then draw the shoulder blades in and down, and then take the arms overhead. So we don't want this, we don't want to be hunching. The shoulders come forwards and up. We want to be really pulling them down, and from there get a little taller through the torso. And find some space for the breath. And then just check whether the heads come forwards a little bit. Can you take your ears back, your throat back? And then start to take the arms behind you. So if you need to feed yourself a little bit more of the strap to have the arms wider, then go ahead and do that. So Maggie, if that's not comfortable on your back, try taking the legs wide. Does that feel a little bit better? Or try going into one bent, one straight. That might relieve it a little bit. Have one more breath, opening up the shoulders. You might even come all the way back. Take the ears back, the throat back, the back of the skull back. One more breath, and then release your strap. And again, just circle the shoulders. So if you're sitting on a brick, then you might want to come off. And from cross-legged, so you can work out what you need to do, just bring one knee up and ground one foot. Yeah. And then take so this is let's say this is your left knee. You're going to take your left arm behind. Push into the fingertips to stay long. through the torso, through the spine, and then twist to the left. So you can have the right leg straight, or like me, you can just have it tucked behind the left heel. And see if you can feel that you're in a straight line from the tailbone to the crown of your head. And just take another breath into that twist. So twist towards the knee, Maggie, swap hands. Yeah. Take another breath. And then come back to the center and just change over. So if you're following me, you've got your left heel just close to the right hip, and your right heel is just pulled in, knee pointing to the ceiling, taking the right hand behind, hugging that right knee in. Sit really tall, and then just turn and twist, and breathe into your twist. One more breath. And then release back to the center, come on to the hands and knees. And we'll just have a little bit more of a warm up for the spine. So taking the knees underneath the hips, the hands maybe a tiny little bit wider than your shoulders. So you've got lots of space. As you inhale, feel as if you're lengthening the spine. Broaden the sit bones, broaden the collarbones, looking to the top of your mat. And then start as you exhale to pull the belly up away from the floor, push into the hands, and then tucking in the chin and the tail. So lengthening out with your inhale, looking forwards just a little, shoulders slide away from the ears, pull the belly up as you push into the floor, and start to feel each vertebra in the spine moving, articulating with its neighbor. Feel as if you're just lubricating the space between each joint of the spine. So trust your body move as it feels that good to do. And you could even have a little hip swing in cat pose, maybe even a shoulder swing in cow pose. And see if you can iron out any of those little morning creases in your spine. Lovely. Just do 2 more breaths like that with the inhale into cow pose. And exhaling into cat. And then coming to center, keeping the hips lifted, walk the hands forward. So we're trying not to let the hips drop forwards. They might drop back a little bit. Bring the elbows to the floor. If this isn't comfy on your shoulder, Terry, just take the elbow really wide. And then bring the head towards the floor and bend the elbows. And then you might even, if you got your fingertips pressed together, maybe even the palms together, you could maybe walk the elbows a tiny bit further forwards. So you start to get an opening, a stretch in the upper back, but maybe around the armpits. It shouldn't feel too pinchy in the shoulders. So if you need to just release one side, bring the elbow wider or back towards you a little bit. And then take a really big breath into the upper back. And as you exhale, see, can you melt that space between the shoulder blades? Allow the chest to descend towards the floor. The sit bones are lifted. Take another breath. Doesn't matter if your head's not on the floor. Feel that sense of allowing a melting sensation in the upper back, chest towards the floor. Nice. Have one more breath. And then start to lift the head, bring the hands to the floor. And then tucking the toes, find your way into downward facing dog. So you can keep the knees pretty bent to start with and work on lifting the sit bones towards the sky. So we don't want to feel rounded in the lumbar spine. You want to feel as if it's arching a little bit as you lift the sit bones towards the ceiling. And then we can start to just release the heels, the inner ankles back towards the back of your mat. So don't worry about trying to ground the feet here. You want to keep the lift in your spine and then draw the belly back, draw the lower ribs back. And feel the breath coming into the whole length of the spine from the fingertips to the sit bones. Great. And then start to bring the knees down. You can keep the toes tucked. Press the sit bones back towards the heels, keeping the hands exactly where they were in downward facing dog. Good. So then we're going to slide nose, chin, chest through the arms. So bending the elbows and taking the body forwards. Can we inhale into cobra pose? Don't come up too high. Great. And then tucking the toes, start to pull the belly, the hips away from the floor. And inhale back up to downward facing dog. Exhale, bring the knees down, settle the hips back towards the heels, keep the toes tucked. So you inhale, nose, chin, chest follows the floor. It doesn't have to be too low, all the way up into cobra. Exhaling here. Good. Start to inhale as you start to bring the hips back up into downward facing dog. Exhale, knees drop, sitting back into child's pose. Inhale, sliding forwards, quite strong on the arms and shoulders into cobra. Good. Exhale, and then as you inhale, start to lift the hips back up into downward facing dog. Let's just do that twice more. So we're coming from child, inhaling into cobra, exhaling, tucking the toes, and inhaling to lift the hips, downward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. Great. Inhale, slide forwards, all the way to lift the heart in cobra. Good. And then into downward facing dog. Lovely. And let's stay in downward facing dog. Good. Root from the tips of the shoulder blades into the hands. Super strong. Lift the hips a little bit higher. And then looking to the thumbs, step the feet to the hands. Good. Bend the knees and let the spine lengthen, the crown dangle. And then we'll root into the feet and start to come all the way up. Reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Ground into the feet. Exhale, hands to the heart. Lovely. So we'll flow a little bit through a couple of sun salutations. So start in Tadasana, so mountain pose. Feet hip width apart. Feel really grounded through the feet. Shoulders just sit to the back of the rib cage. Now lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. Stand super tall. Exhale fully. And with your inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards into plank. Exhale, lower the belly to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, preparing to come back up to downward facing dog, and stay here 2 breaths. Count the breath in and out all the way. 1 more breath. And then looking to the thumbs, step or jump forwards into half forward fold. So lengthen the crown forwards, hands to the shins. Exhale and fold. Pull the belly up, fold deeper. Inhale, root into the feet, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do 1 more like that. Inhaling. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, you can jump or step back to downward facing dog. And inhale, forwards into plank. And exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra, keep the legs firm. And then start to find your way back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Settle your feet hip width apart, root from the tips of the sit bone, shoulder blades into the hands. Lift the hips high, tone the belly. Let's have 1 more breath here. And then looking forward, step or jump forwards, half forward fold, hands to the shins. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, fold again. And then root into the feet. Sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale. Good. Take a breath here. Rooting into the feet. And then exhale fully. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. And this time, just step the left foot back, coming into a lunge. Good. Squeeze the feet towards each other. Feel that right hip draw back. And from your left heel, lengthen to the crown of the head. Lovely. Take an inhale. As you exhale, ground the feet. Step into plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes, exhaling up to downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, step the right foot forwards into your lunge. Squeeze the feet together. That's the wrong side, isn't it? Did we do this one already? Yes, we did. Step back to plank. Step the left foot forwards into your lunge. Yeah. Squeeze the feet together. So you feel that left hip draw back a little bit. Tone the belly and then stretch from the heel to the crown. Good. Grounding the hands, step back into plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. And then find your way downward facing dog. Great. Steady the breath. Have one more steady breath here. And then look to your thumbs and step or jump forwards into half forward fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale. Come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Lovely. So we're going to just develop that a tiny bit. So have your bricks close to the body so that they're there when you need them. So grounding your feet, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep inhale, exhale fully, drawing the belly back, lengthen the tailbone, ground into the feet, inhale, rise, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards, bring in the bricks and step the right foot forwards into a long lunge. Great. And squeeze the feet together so you feel the right hip draws forwards, the left hip back a little bit, tone the belly, and then lift the inner right thigh, squeezing the thigh muscles to the bones, helping to support that knee. And then come onto the fingertips of your bricks. On top of your bricks, nice. And as you exhale, straighten your left leg and bow towards the left thigh. So push your left big toe joint into the floor and feel the muscles of that left leg really firm. So we're not just stretching out into the ligaments at the back of the knee. You're really grounding into the foot. Feel the muscles hug into the bones. Have another breath here. Inhale, bend the knee, look forwards. Back leg super strong. Exhale, straighten the knee, bend the elbows and bow. Good. Inhale, last time. Exhale, bow. Right. And then you're on the ball of your back foot. As you inhale, next time, release the bricks, come up into Anjali Asana, into a lunge. And lower through the left knee. Try not to fall over. Well done. And as you inhale, lift the heart, rise a little bit. As you exhale, can you twist to the left? So start to turn through the torso, bringing the arms in line with the shoulders. Great. Inhale back into Anjali Asana. Exhale, hands to the bricks. Into your lunge. And step forwards, right foot next to left. Good. Half forward fold. Exhale and bow. Releasing the bricks. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Find the bricks. Step your left foot, long lunge. Just check that the right knee is above the right ankle. And squeeze the feet together so you feel the belly tone, your left leg really strong. Squeezing the feet together. Nice. And then come onto the tip fingers. We say tiptoes, but fingertips. Straighten the right leg. Now really work on firming the muscles of the right leg to the bone. So we don't just want to feel that super stretchy at the back of the knee. You want to push the big toe joint into the floor and squeeze your thigh muscles. So there might even be a slight micro bend in that right knee as you bow. Good. As you inhale, bend the knee comes towards the second and third toes. Look up, lift the chest. As you exhale, bend the elbows, bow, but keep that right leg really strong, left leg really strong. So feel the muscles hugging into the bones. Inhale. Again, bend the knee. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Straighten last time. Good. Bend the knee, hug into the midline, take the arms up. Good. Bending through that front knee. And then as you exhale next time, twist to the right. See if you can bring your left ribs through and round into your twist. Take another breath. Great. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the bricks. Take the bricks to the side, bring the hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards into plank. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and reach back, downward facing dog. Soften the knees to lift the sit bones a tiny little bit more, and then focus on grounding into the hands from the tips of your shoulder blades. Can you let the shoulder blades slide away from the ears? Release the neck, release the head. And take another breath. Well done. And then looking to the thumbs, step forwards. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Lovely. So bring one brick and just pop it to the inside or in between your feet, really. It'll be in the inside of your left foot. So between your feet. And then step the right foot back. So not as long as your lunge, because we're trying to ground this back foot into a warrior one stance. And then can you start to draw the left hip back? The right hip comes forwards. So if you were to shine a light out of both of your hips, they would both be facing forward. So just check they're not facing off to the top right-hand corner of your mat. If they are, try stepping the right foot in a little bit closer. You may even need to lift that heel. Lovely. And bend through the left knee. Start to lengthen the tailbone. Warrior one, take the arms up. Great. Start to straighten the left knee and begin to reach the arms forward. So we're hugging everything into the midline and starting to take our body parallel to the floor. Bring the right hand onto the brick on the inside of your left foot and take your left hand onto your sacrum and roll your left shoulder blade into the center of the body, into the center of the back. Hugging your left hip back, then start to push into your brick and revolve. And if you feel steady and the shoulders feel okay, you could take your left arm up. So all the while here, we want to feel that the outer knee, the outer hip are drawing back to the back of your mat. So we're not letting the hips swing to the left. Lovely. Great. Now get some power in the legs. Push back into your feet from your pelvis. Lengthen the torso. One more breath. Well done. And then bring the left hand onto the hips again. We'll just go into it how we came out. Start to draw that left hip back as you take your body parallel to the floor. Sweep the arms forwards, bend the knee, and then inhale back up into warrior one. Well done. Bring the hands to the hips and step forwards. Step back with your left. So the brick should be more or less on the inside of your right foot. We want to really work on squaring the pelvis here. So it can depend if you're a little restricted in your ankles. So if my left ankle is a bit restricted, so I actually need to step it out a bit and in a bit. And that gives my pelvis a bit more space to turn forward. So both hips facing forward. If you feel as if you were to shine a light out of your belly button, is it pointing to the top left corner? We need to really work on drawing this right hip back. Yeah. Bending through the right knee to start with, warrior one. Good, rooting into both feet, so not too much weight in the front foot. Sweep the arms up. Good, lengthen the tailbone. Nice, now start to straighten the right leg and keeping this sense of the right hip drawing back, reaching forwards. And then take the left hand onto your brick, the right hand onto your sacrum. Good, keep this sense of outer knee, outer hip drawing back as you start to revolve, bring the left ribs through, turning around to central axis. Keep pressing into both feet. And then if you want to take the top arm up, if you find that your right arm is somewhere over here, little finger above the hip, then keep the hand on the hip. If you can, you want your thumb more or less in line with your nose. Good, keep drawing that right hip back and revolve a little deeper, find that steady breath. Good, one more breath. Brilliant. And then start to bend the knee. Bring the right hand onto your hip. Sweep the left arm forwards, the right arm forwards, and come up into warrior one. Sorry. Good, take 2 breaths, lengthening the tailbone. Well done. And then hands to the hips, step forwards and take your brick out and come to sit. Well done. Nice. Bring, so as if you were going to be in cross-legged here. Now, I would recommend that you sit up on a cushion or a folded towel or, yeah, folded towel too. Should be one there. And just pop it under the hips to give the spine a little bit more space. And then bring your left heel in line with the right sit bone. So you're just tucking it under. And step the right foot in front or just over the knee. Now, if you find that you're twisting, can you see the shape of my spine here? I'm in a curve here, and this is my right hip is lifting. That's not what we want, doesn't give us the room to twist. So then I would step my foot on the inside of the knee rather than over. Then I can ground my both hips. So this is fine if you have the space in your hips to ground both sit bones. And so your spine is nice and straight. Now sit tall. And then start to revolve. So we want to twist around the central axis, trying not to bend or come out of that alignment. My right hand is behind me. You might be on the same. Yeah, you are the same as me. And then start to find a steadiness to your breath. Feel as if the spine is stacked straight above the pelvis, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And then maybe you can bring the left ribs through a little bit more, draw the belly back, that will give you a bit more space. And take another 2 breaths. And then start to release. Keep the legs as they are. Just take both hands to the left and just do a little counter twist, a bow towards the floor. Feel the upper back twist the other way. And then we can come up and change sides. So I am going to tuck my right heel in front of my left hip and just let that drop out. Now this right hip for me is much tighter, so I might need to make an adjustment here. So I'll try, see what happens if you just step your left foot over. So I don't know if you can see that for me. If I step my left foot over the knee, my left hip, I'm nowhere near grounding it. I could just about do it on the other side. So my spine is then on a C shape. So all I'm going to do is to just step the foot in front of the shin instead of over the knee. Then I can keep both sit bones on the floor, hugging this left knee in with my right hand. Don't worry if you're doing the opposite, taking the left hand behind. The left hand behind me is going to help to keep the spine lifted. Then I can start to work on the twist. And then find a steadiness to your breath. Can you lift the heart? Can you lift the sternum a little bit more? Draw the shoulder blades back. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together a bit more, Maggie? And then, yeah, really opening up the heart. Then maybe we can get a little bit more twist. Right. Have another breath here. And then coming back to center, releasing. Grab the strap and come and lie on your back. And hug the right knee in, straighten the left leg along the floor. And as you straighten your left leg along the floor, can you hug the inner left thigh down towards the floor? So you're really strong in that left leg. And then take the hands behind the right knee, just straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. You might even walk your hands towards the shin. And then while we have the opportunity here, just take the strap and loop it around the ball of your right foot. Take both straps into the left hand, release your right arm, and then you're going to start to take the right leg across the body and roll onto the left side of your hip. That's it. So I'm lucky here. I have got a wall to press my foot in. You might find some prop or wall or bed or something. But you could rest this foot on a brick, so it's not dangling in midair. You want to try to keep the shoulders on the floor. And we want to try to keep the foot in line with the hip. Sometimes it's going to wander off down here. So if we can't quite get the foot in line with the hip, you can try bending the knee and just taking the hand to the knee. Okay. And then shine out into both feet. So push into both feet. So you're on the outside of your left foot, left hip. And we get a bit more length in the right side of your waist. So maybe taking the outside of that right hip and wrapping it down towards the bottom of your mat. Let's have one more breath. And maybe one more. Start to bend both knees to roll onto your back, where you can unloop. Bring both feet to the floor, just lift the hips a little bit to adjust and bring yourself back into the center of your mat. And then as you hug your left knee in, straighten the right leg along the mat. And you're aiming for this sense of grounding your right thigh. You might be able to do that. My thigh is not near the floor, but I've got that sense of taking the inner right thigh, rolling it down towards the floor. So the right leg is super strong. Take the hands to the back of the left thigh and straighten the leg to your own degree. It doesn't matter if there's a bit of a bend. You might even take the hands onto the calf and take the opportunity just to loop the band around the ball of the left foot. Great. And then take the strap into your right hand. And here, just to show you, you can have a brick to support the foot. So as we roll onto the outside of the right hip, the right leg, and this left foot comes down towards the floor, we're trying to keep that foot in line with the hip. So we don't really want it to drop down here. If it does, then bend the knee, and you can always pop the brick underneath the knee. So we end up here. Can you then start to work on bringing your left shoulder to the floor? So for me, my left shoulder's not quite there, but I'm aiming to just draw my ribs through. And if you're more flexible, you might have your hand to your toe. And then can we make a bit more space in the left side of the waist? So can you feel that you're wrapping the outside of the buttock, the hip, down towards the bottom of your mat? So you're not collapsing in the pose. There's a dynamic energy still here, drawing in through the center of your body, hugging the muscles to the bones. And then from the core of your pelvis, reaching into your feet as you twist and breathe. One more breath. Bend both knees, just unlooping the strap to come back onto your back and hug the knees in, having a little rock and roll. And then bring the feet to the floor. And you can choose for Shavasana, for your final couple of minutes of relaxation, you could have the feet in Supta Baddha Konasana, so with the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide. And if that feels okay, you could always pop your bricks underneath your knee for a bit of support, or you can come into full Shavasana and straighten the legs, let the legs flop out. Bring the shoulders just to rest right in the back of the rib cage. So the collarbones are open, heart space open. And then start to let the body release, letting go of any effort for the breath. And feel the face soften as you let go. Feel the jaw release, the tongue relax. And even the breath soften. And start to bring a little bit more breath into the body, deepening the inhale, getting a little bit more energy in the exhale. Having a full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead, draw the feet together, straightening the legs if you haven't already. And then hug the knees in and find your way back to seated. Thank you for joining me with love and gratitude. Namaste.